You started hatching out quail and you realize you're getting a ton of roosters out of every hatch and you'd rather have more hens? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video, so stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Redneck video. Again, my name is Chris, and if you're not familiar with my channel, I focus on helping you produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your garage, or heck, even a spare room in your house if that's what you're looking to do. Today we're going to be talking about quail, and specifically when it comes to incubating quail. If you've done that, you probably have found that, at least 50 to 60% of your hatch rate ends up being males. And of course, everybody wants more females, more hens, because those are the ones that produce the eggs. So what can you do about that? Well, first things first. When an egg is laid, it's already determined what the gender of that egg is, and there's nothing you can do after the fact, after the egg is laid, to change that gender. It's already been determined. So anything you've heard about, do this or that or this or that or whatever to, change the gender of the egg to a hen, none of that is true. You can ignore that. Once it's laid, it's already determined. Now there are a few maybe small things that you can do to kind of help increase the number of hens that you produce. The female, the hen, is the one that determines the gender of the egg. So if you were to be able to isolate your hens and incubate their eggs and figure out which ones produced more hens than roosters and keep only those birds, then that theoretically would increase your hen to rooster ratio in your hatch rates. It's a lot of work and very difficult to do, but it is possible, and it is something that you might be able to do. There was also a study done recently that said hens with higher levels of progesterone tend to produce more female chicks. And it's very difficult for you to try to increase the amount of progesterone, but there are a couple of foods that do that. Egg yolks are very high in progesterone, so also are dairy products. So if you supplement your quail's feed with that, that could help. It's not really known how that's incorporated into the body and if that would really make a difference in it or not, but it's something that you could try out, and you might be able to see some success from that and increase the number of hens that you have in your young as well. And I will put a link down below to that study so you can kind of look over the details of that. Okay, now there are a couple of old wives' tricks, I guess wives' tricks, I don't know exactly, farmers' tricks maybe, to try to determine which eggs are male, which eggs are female before you incubate them, so you can increase your number of hens that are hatching that way. A couple of those things might include, it's said that rounded eggs produce hens, pointier eggs produce roosters. Not really true. You'll have people that'll just swear by that. Well, you got to figure you got a 50% chance rate of guessing that right whenever you put those eggs in the incubator. That's not really true. There's no scientific evidence or anything behind that that's true. There's also another trick that I've heard of swinging a pendulum above the egg, like a nut or a bolt or something on the end of a string, holding it above the egg. If it swings back and forth, it's a rooster. If it goes in circles, it's a hen. Again, that's just like flipping a quarter and saying, okay, it's a rooster, it's a hen. It's not really true. There's nothing to that. Now, you can do a couple of things, though, to improve the odds of your hens hatching and, make it less likely that your roosters are going to hatch. None of this will actually make you have more hens or roosters. Basically what it does is it just kind of weeds out the roosters so they don't hatch at all. So basically it lowers your overall hatch rate, but the ones that do hatch are going to be much more likely to be hens. One thing that can be done is to increase your incubation temperature by 0.5 degrees if you want roosters, decrease it by 0.5 degrees if you want hens. There's been some studies and some research done that suggests that slightly higher temperature is more favorable for roosters to hatch, slightly lower temperature, more favorable for hens to hatch. And again, it's half a degree, not a lot, just half a degree. And again, that's not going to, it's going to decrease your overall hatch rate, but it will improve the odds of the hens hatching, the roosters not hatching. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're just wanting to get hens out of it, you don't want to call the roosters, then you can do that as well. Another thing that can be done is there's been some studies that suggest that storing the eggs at a slightly lower temperature, like around 40 degrees instead of the normal 60 to 65 degrees, is more favorable for hens. So it tends to kill off the rooster eggs and they won't hatch, but your hens will hatch. So those are a couple of things that you can do. Those are the only two things that I've found that will impact the hatch rate of your hens and decrease the hatch rate of your roosters. Now, me personally, I don't worry about that too much. Most of my birds are meat runs, so if I get a bunch of roosters in there, oh well. Again, none of these things are going to increase the number of hens you have. All they do is decrease the number of roosters that you have, so affect your overall hatch rate. Okay, and one other thing, not really proven out. I haven't found that it's worked all that well for me, but I have heard a lot of people swear by this, that if you increase your rooster to hen ratio, you're likely to get more hens. So instead of running like a 1-to-3 or a 1-to-4 rooster to hen ratio, if you were to run maybe more like 1-to-2 rooster to hen ratio, theoretically would increase your hen rate, because the hens know somehow or another that there's too many roosters, they don't need any more roosters, so they're going to start producing hen eggs. I have not found that to be true in my flock, but I haven't tested it out extensively. I did throw extra roosters in, but you know, it's really hard to keep that ratio, because when roosters get overcrowded, they tend to start fighting and tend to start picking on each other, and it's very hard to keep an overabundance of roosters in the pen with the hens. But you know, I did test it out a little bit. I didn't see much of a change in the couple of hatches that I did with that. Not saying that that's proven or disproven either way. It's something that you might try and see how it works for you. Hit that subscribe button below. Keep up with my future updates. If you like these videos, consider supporting me on Patreon so I can keep producing all this great content for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, God bless.